Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here. We are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Wednesday, January 5th slate of games. I'm really excited to hop into it. We had another profitable day as of yesterday. We ended up going 3-1 on our plays. We'll go ahead and do a quick recap. But first, I did want to go ahead and say thank you guys. Not only did we hit 700 subscribers yesterday, we also hit 800 subscribers yesterday, which is just absolutely fantastic. So our next goal is obviously going to be that 900 mark. Hopefully we can hit that by the end of the week. I would definitely love to see that. But let's go ahead and recap. First, we did have Fred VanVleet over 20.5 points versus the San Antonio Spurs. Definitely my biggest no sweat bet of the night. He cashed it in the first half. So, very easy cash for us. And then we also had Grizzlies +3 versus Cleveland. If you guys watched it, it was very down to the wire, but the Grizzlies actually ended up winning outright by 4. And then we also had Sabonis over 22.5 points versus the New York Knicks, -120. Julius Randle did get back in the lineup. Mitchell Robinson ended up playing, and he ends up with 14 points, one of his worst nights in a long time. Shot 5 for 10 from the free throw line. It was just a very weird loss, unfortunately. Then we also had Halliburton over 8.5 assists, -135 versus the Lakers. I saw that this line went from -135, which is what we took it at, all the way up to plus value, and it cashed for us. It didn't get cashed until the middle of the fourth quarter, but still, the fact that it went from -135, so super juiced, all the way up to plus odds is absolutely insane. But we ended up cashing on that one, going 3-1 on the day. I don't have a whole lot of plays that I do like on this slate, to be completely realistic with you. I found my 3 favorite ones. I like them a lot, so I'm probably going to be putting a little bit more money on there, but I'm really excited about these plays. So we'll go ahead and hop straight into it. First one is going to be the Washington Wizards -6.5 points versus the Houston Rockets -110 odds. The Rockets have been a very bad team. I think we all know that, but truthfully, let me just give some stats to back it up. The Rockets have not covered in their last 8 games. So they've gotten blown out in every single game that they've played in the last 8 games. Whereas the Wizards, on the other side of things, they've been pretty good. They've actually covered in 6 of their last 7 games. So that's a pretty profitable margin there. And then, as I have been saying in the past, the Wizards are a really great home team. They are 11-5 against the spread at home, so they love to show out in front of their home crowd. And I definitely think that they're going to be able to do that again against this Houston Rockets team. Despite having a couple injuries, I still think they'll be able to do it. And then the Rockets, they are 8-11 as an away underdog, so anytime that they're supposed to be losing on the road, they usually do. So that is going to be our first play of the day. Wizards -6.5 versus the Houston Rockets -110 odds. Our next play is going to be Cade Cunningham over 5.5 assists versus Charlotte -150 odds. Charlotte does have the worst defense in the entire NBA, and we are probably going to be just attacking this over and over and over and over again for most of the year. So, like I said, worst defense in the entire NBA. Cade Cunningham in his last 6 games has really shown that he can pass the ball extremely well. He has gotten 7 assists, 9 assists, 10, 11, 4, and 6 assists. So he has cashed this in every one besides for the one that he had 4, and that was against the Lakers, I believe. I might be wrong on that, but he did only have 4 assists in one of those games. So he has been pretty good as of recently, setting up his teammates, finding the open man, stuff like that. When it comes to Charlotte, they do give up the 6th most assists per game to opposing point guards, so that does put a lot of value here on the table. Gives us a lot of chances to be able to cash something like this. And then when it comes to pace, both of these teams are once again a pretty fast-paced team. Last time we took a bet when it was the Tyrese Halliburton one, the Kings, or not the Kings, the Charlotte Hornets, they were ranked 3rd in pace. They've actually moved up to 2nd in pace now. So Charlotte is the 2nd fastest pace in the entire NBA, and Detroit is 9th fastest. So both these teams play at a very fast pace, and so there's going to be a lot of shot opportunities for the Detroit Pistons, and I think Cade Cunningham is going to be the one to set that up. So that is going to be our next play. Cade Cunningham over 5.5 assists versus the Charlotte Hornets, -150 odds. And then our next play of the day is probably my most controversial one. It's going to be Andrew Wiggins over 17.5 points versus the Dallas Mavericks. Andrew Wiggins has been on an absolute tear as of recently. He has actually cashed in 5 straight games in this line, and they've actually been against pretty solid teams. So Andrew Wiggins has cashed this over against the Knicks, the Celtics, the Nuggets, the Jazz, and the Miami Heat. So all fairly decent defensive teams. All these teams are top 10 defensive teams besides for Boston. Boston is like 14th, I think. But still, regardless, Wiggins is going to have a guy like Tatum or Brown on him in that situation. So the fact that he has been able to overcome this 17.5 points, that definitely proves to me that he can. Well, we all know that Andrew Wiggins is an inconsistent scorer, but he can either get really hot or he can get ice cold. So we all know that. But I'm taking him while he's on his burner right now, while he is absolutely on fire. And then on top of that, if you look at this bet historically, in his last 5 games against the Dallas Mavericks, he's actually cashed this in 4 of them. So 80% of the time you're winning this. So that is going to be our last play of the day. Andrew Wiggins over 17.5 points versus the Dallas Mavericks. I am going to go ahead and add a play or two on my Twitter once I end up actually getting some lines and stuff like that, doing a little bit more research. So make sure to go ahead and follow me on Twitter or on Action. I will be posting it on there as well. So thank you guys once again for 800 subscribers. And if, I would love to be able to hit 900 by the end of the week. I think that would be pretty insane. You guys showed insane amounts of love and support on the video, so thank you guys so much for that. But for now, this is King Sanders signing out. Peace.